It will assist the U.S. Navy amid growing unease over North Korea's nuclear program. On Saturday, Pyongyang test-fired a ballistic missile. The test failed, but a sixth one is now planned. The U.S. administration has declined to rule out military action against North Korea. Now, this would mark the first time Japan will be involved in such operations during peacetime. Mayu Yoshida has more now from Tokyo.
Japan and the U.S. are strengthening its partnership to increase pressure on North Korea. Tokyo has dispatched its biggest warship to protect American ships. It's the first time in Japan's self-defense forces history for such operations, despite the country's pacifist constitution, which renounces war. Now, Japan's SDF is able to engage in this operation as they were assigned with a new task in 2015 under the country's revised security law. Now, this new task is to protect U.S. warships by using the SDF weapons to protect U.S. forces in other countries that are protecting Japan's security, so it's called a collective defense. Now, the law revision is part of Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's plan to expand the country's military capabilities. Now, warship Izumo departed from the Yokosuka base on Monday. Izumo is a helicopter carrier, and it'll escort an American supply vessel heading to refuel the naval fleet in the region. This U.S. supply ship is expected to support Carl Vinson, which is an American aircraft on high alert over North Korea's ballistic missile firings.
Well, that's as U.S. President Donald Trump described North Korean leader Kim Jong-un as a, quote, pretty smart cookie. Trump says the young leader has been dealing with some very tough people since assuming power 5 years ago. Trump has been engaged in a flurry of diplomacy in the Pacific region. He's invited the controversial Filipino leader Rodrigo Duterte to Washington and urged the leaders of Thailand and Singapore to maintain economic and diplomatic pressure on North Korea.
You've asked me many times over the last couple of years about military. I said we shouldn't be announcing we're going into Mosul. I said we shouldn't be announcing all our moves. It is a chess game. I just don't want people to know what my thinking is. So eventually he will have a better delivery system, and if that happens, we can't allow it to happen. People are saying, is he sane? I have no idea. I can tell you this, and a lot of people don't like when I say it, but he was a young man of 26 or 27 when he took over from his father, when his father died. He's dealing with obviously very tough people, in particular the generals and others. And at a very young age, he was able to assume power. A lot of people, I'm sure, tried to take that power away, whether it was his uncle or anybody else. And he was able to do it. So obviously, he's a pretty smart cookie. I would not be happy. If he does a nuclear test, I will not be happy.